Thanks a lot. I'm so happy to be here and represent the point of view of the European Parliament. I pretty much like the statement of the Vice Prime Minister of Serbia, who said Danube links people, first of all. And he gave a good example. Einstein was born in Ulm, and his first wife was from a Danube area from Serbia. So this is a good example that Danube also can link people. Yes, the European Parliament is very concerned about this region, about developing Danube strategy and about allocating also money for that purposes. We should not forget that everything we do as politicians or business people, we do in order to achieve a better life for our citizens and for ourselves. Our life of those who live near the Danube is closely linked to its evolution. The EU strategy for Danube region will improve people's life quality in this area, no matter what we are talking about. Organizing this conference at the Hungarian Academy of Science has a special significance and leads us to the idea that here is the right place to highlight the role that research and innovation play in the economic and social development of the European Union, and especially on the Danube region. It is known that the European Parliament welcomed the Council's request and the steps initiated by the European Commission for the Danube strategy, having already the experience of Baltic Sea strategy. Recently, the European Parliament resolution was adopted in which we presented our points of view and directions to elaborate the strategy for the most important riparian area of the European Union. We had in view the role of this region in the economic, social and territorial cohesion of the European Union. We highlighted the elements necessary in order to achieve a consistent framework of cooperation with states in the region, member or non-member states of the European Union, which may have a significant contribution to the development of the Danube region. The European Parliament believes this cooperation is crucial for obtaining a uniform effect, especially considering issues such as water pollution, which cannot be stopped at borders. Also, in the European Parliament, it is considered that elaborating this strategy and implementing concrete measures that will result from this will prove how European policies can play a consistent and complementary role. The founding pillars of this strategy should be the following: increase of the economic value of the region, use of Danube as an energy resource, capitalize the transport potential, protection of biodiversity throughout the course of the river from the Black Forest to the Black Sea, Danube as a safety region for citizens, fighting against organized crime and preventing the traffic of human beings and goods, cultural diversity, and last but not least, development of the touristic potential. I would like to add that the European Union's proximity to the Black Sea will be capitalized to the extent that ensures a common vision for the development of the Danube macro-region. We need to use the local and regional potential in order to overcome all the challenges faced by the regions in this area and to achieve territorial cohesion. As you might know, several European funds were allocated in order to meet the objectives of cohesion policy and the objectives of the other policies. But only the TEN-T program supports projects on trans-European transport networks, including the priority axis number 18, Rhine-Main-Danube. Therefore, it is necessary that the Danube strategy makes possible efficient and effective use of every euro spent in the European Union, avoiding overlapping. It is well known that multi-level governance brings additional difficulties in the process of achieving the coherence at political interventions. In this respect, we need partnerships, cooperation, commitment and trust among different local, regional, national and European actors who must play a central role in drafting the strategy. This was clearly mentioned in our resolution of the European Parliament. I think that by proposing efficient ways of working, we will succeed inserting in the strategy the contributions of all relevant actors so that the final document will be realistic, concrete and supported by the necessary financial instruments. The first concrete proposal I am introducing to you is the setting up of a group of experts from regional level who should be directly involved in drafting the strategy. For fast and uniform decisions, the group can work online, and therefore it could be named Virtual Danube Working Group. The working platform can include relevant information from a regional level, taking into consideration the current situation and the proposals of local authorities. This should be available for all those involved in the process of public consultation. I would like now to make reference to the civil protection and intervention in the event of natural disasters or human-made disasters. There is a risk of floods or landslides along the river. Let us remember that floods made huge damages in previous years, and I think nobody forgot what happened in 2002 and 2004 along the river. We can cooperate with a maximum efficiency at a local and regional level using innovative solutions based on a good knowledge of the macro region. We need an efficient information technology and communication system, as well as applications especially created in order to prevent the risk of natural disasters and assess the impact of the interventions in each and every region in order to also fight man-provoked disasters. This brings us to the importance and significance of having met today in the premises of the Hungarian Academy of Science. I believe that researchers, in cooperation with local, national and European experts from several fields, can develop what could be called a knowledge-based Danube, a database and innovative software of monitoring and assessing the risks of disasters connected to a rapid system of interventions. I refer to a project which would enable the creation of a single platform of collecting data and plans tabled by every country or region on the one hand, and which would transcend cross-border actions on the other hand. Moreover, every project can be subjected to an environmental risk assessment. We need to know at every moment what projects are being implemented and how they change the initial status in order to prevent possible risks and in order to spare the financial resources that are limited at the time. We also need to avoid by all means overlapping funds, whether we refer to local, national or European budgets. This idea is useful for the drafting of the strategy as well as for its implementation. An initiative group could gather experts from several countries so that in the shortest period of time we can already have a concept to be analyzed with the experts of the European Commission, especially in the perspective of a possible financing within the 7th framework program. I believe the two proposals that I launched today are useful in order to meet our common goal, which is elaborating the strategy. I am also convinced that the workshop will debate on relevant sectorial matters, and we will make progress in achieving an extended consultation in order to elaborate the EU Danube strategy. European institutions should identify the most relevant financial instruments in order to make possible the implementation of the measures that will be outlined by the strategy. We all know that planned objectives can be achieved only if the corresponding financial resources are allocated. I fully believe that our efforts will succeed in generating economic development, creating jobs, and improving the standards of life of our citizens. Thank you.